Thank you for tuning in to my continued coverage of the G1 Climax 32 tournament. We are on day 6, and I have 4 great matches to go over with you guys, including one that I consider to be the best of the tournament thus far. So without further ado, let's get right into these matches. We start the tournament matches out with Chase Owens defeating the Great-O-Kahn. Didn't see this one coming. I had Great-O-Kahn beating Chase Owens in my predictions. When Chase Owens comes out, of course he brings up his win against Tanahashi last year to Kevin Kelly, which was a clean win, unlike this year, because he starts the match out by throwing powder right in Khan's face before the bell rings, so he's not getting disqualified. So Chase Owens jumpstarts this match. He needs every advantage that he could get. Chase was in total control for the first 5 minutes or so as Khan was just struggling to see. The nice spot with Khan slamming Owens' head on the apron, but the effect was taken away because Chase was slapping the mat. Okay guys, I love wrestling like everyone else who's listening right now, but what I cannot stand is when the blatant work is being shown. You guys are opening the fourth wall when you have Great-O-Kahn slamming his head on the apron, but every single time his head hits, Chase is slapping his hands on the mat. You guys got to do better than that. I understand you don't want to slam your head really onto the mat, but I mean, come on, you got to work it a little better than that. Chase tries to pin Great-O-Kahn with his feet on the rope, but the ref sees it this time. Chase, it's not going to be a cheap win for you. But I will say the last sequence was phenomenal. Chase hangs Great-O-Kahn on the ropes after being thrown onto the apron, nails a flying C-trigger, followed by a package pile driver for the win. I have to say I'm impressed. This was a very well put together match. I did not expect this match to be as enjoyable as it was. I knew that it wasn't going to suck, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. Up next for the C block, we have Evil defeating KENTA. And I feel like I haven't even seen Evil for a while outside of his tag matches. I believe this is a rematch from last year's G1. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. KENTA doesn't even seem like he's part of the Bullet Club anymore. I mean, he does it too sweet, but he just, I don't know, he just doesn't seem like he's part of the Bullet Club like everyone else. Evil offers up a handshake, but when KENTA accepts, Evil tries putting on the everything is evil. KENTA escapes, and he's like, no, 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 you're not gonna pull that shit on me. Evil puts up the too sweet. This time KENTA turns the tables by poking him in the eye and tries to pick him up for a GTS. Evil wriggles out of that, and we're not gonna get an easy victory on either one of these guys. Gotta give him credit though. It's an interesting way to start. KENTA goes to the outside, and he goes under the ring. I'm thinking he's about to try to grab a weapon, and I'm like, oh, here we go. But no, he pulls out a book. Apparently, KENTA has written a book. Evil disrespects the book, obviously. They take it out to the floor. Of course, we get the table spot. It's not set up like it normally is, but I give Evil some credit for creativity. There's no chair this time. You know how normally Evil wraps a chair around the guy's head while the ref isn't looking and swings for the fences, but we don't get that. My favorite line of the night, KENTA with a handful of dick. And no, I'm not going to give any context to that. If you know, you know. You get all of Evil's greatest hits during this match, the exposed buckles, a cheating dick, you know what Evil does. I enjoy these heel versus heel matches in New Japan because I love how they try to out-cheat each other. KENTA tries to get Dick Togo thrown out by using the crutch. He tries to pull an Eddie Guerrero, but the referee, I don't know, they're a little reluctant to eject people from the ringside. Instead, we get KENTA putting Evil in the game over submission, and then the lights go out. We wonder who does that. Normally it's Show, and as it turns out, it was Show that did it. When the lights came on, Dick is nowhere to be seen, and Evil is choking KENTA with a shirt. We get a dueling chair spot. Towards the end, they're fighting on the outside. The ref is counting as both men are on the outside trying to finish each other off. And then once the referee gets to the count about 15, both men are trying to get back into the ring. Evil is first to get into the ring, and at the count of 18, as KENTA was trying to get in, Dick grabs Kenta's leg from underneath the ring, so he was hiding when the lights went out, and Kenta gets counted out. I don't know about this. I mean, I guess it's an easy way to get someone a win without having to pin the other guy. And reluctantly, Kenta gives the too sweet to the House of Torture members. And Kenta just looks defeated as he's doing this. Like he really doesn't want to do it. Hence what I said earlier. It doesn't even seem like he's part of the Bullet Club. But we'll see how well Kenta and Evil does for the rest of the tournament. All right, third matchup. From the A block, we have Lance Archer defeating Tom Lawlor. Kevin Kelly claims that Archer is a bigger star now that he's returned to the G1. I would have to disagree on that. Lance Archer has not been booked properly in AEW. I've gone on record to say that, so I don't know where he comes off saying that he's a bigger star now. I think he's actually has lost some star power since being in AEW. That's just my opinion. Tom Lawlor, this is his first G1 match. And of course, he does that weird rain dance shimmy thing where he removes his jean shorts. Of course, he's got tights that look like jean shorts underneath. So it's not like he's running around naked. It's not that kind of show, people. A good opening spot. They established Lance Archer as the powerhouse and Tom Lawlor as the grappler. Archer is having his way with Filthy Tom early on in the match. Lawlor starts utilizing some of his MMA training, tying Archer up and making use of his submission skills. Not a big fan of Tom Lawlor, but he does have the skills to pay the bills. And with Lance Archer's long limbs, he needs to stay out of Lawlor's grip because otherwise he may end up tapping out. Lawlor fared better than I expected in this match. I was even convinced he could have pulled out a win. But that, of course, doesn't happen. Archer finishes him off with the blackout for an impressive win. Good match. I think Tom Lawlor probably is in the wrong block. I think he probably would have fit better in with the D block. I don't know. It's just, I think that these blocks are a little lopsided in some instances. All right, let's get to the main event. And if you couldn't tell already, this was the match that I was talking about. This was the best match in this tournament thus far. It is the first singles match between these two since 2016. I love Juice Robinson's entrance music. His new Bullet Club theme really fits him. I mean, he's really coming to his own with New Japan, and I really hope that he's finally going to get the run that he deserves. Juice Robinson gets mad at the ring announcer because he refuses to announce him as the U.S. champion, even though he was never pinned for it, and he still is carrying the title around, even though officially we all know Will Ospreay is the U.S. champion. And he even takes out the ring announcer because he didn't. He said, "I'm not going to tell you again." You know, it was hard to imagine Finley as a threat walking into his match because he did first lose to Yujiro earlier in the tournament. The opening sequence of this match was amazing. These two are very familiar with each other. They're going move for move, hold for hold. Juice finally finds an opening and starts to focus on the shoulder of Finley. After being battered around for a while, Finley finally fights back and starts throwing him into one barricade after another, and Juice is just pleading for him to stop. Just great heel shit from Juice Robinson. Finley is in charge. He starts to brutalize the left hand that Juice broke a few years ago. Again, this match, great storytelling. Finley getting his shoulder worked over, knowing that he has to compromise something of Juice. So he starts going after the left hand. Juice Robinson is still begging off, but as he's begging, he's slowly removing one of the turnbuckle pads, and he throws Finley into the post shoulder first, just viciously. I love this vicious streak in Juice Robinson. He hits a left hand of God out of nowhere and a Pope friction, and Finley kicks out at 2. I just knew this match was over. But that wasn't the only near fall. Juice is almost put away also, but he puts his foot on the rope at the count of 2. Juice accidentally takes out the ref by squashing him in the corner. Juice grabs the belt, swings, but misses. Finley nails him with the shillelagh, and being honorable, he did not want to win that way. He picks Juice Robinson up at 2, but then he finishes him off with a trash panda. You have to see this match for yourself. If you haven't watched Night 6, go back just for this match. This match was amazing. Like I said, it was the best of the tournament so far. At the end, David Finley grabs the U.S. title, gets on the mic, and says he is just taking the title off of Juice, and if Will Ospreay wants to have it back, he's going to have to beat him for it. And of course, they are in the same block, so we will be getting that match. Quick prediction, I do think that Will Ospreay will beat David Finley and regain possession of the title. But that's it for all the block matches for this evening. Let's go through the leaders so far. In the A block, Okada leads with 4 points. Tom Lawlor and Jonah yet to get on the board. Everyone else in the block has 2 points. In the B block, Jay White is in the lead with 4 points. Tomohiro Ishii and Great-O-Kahn both have 0 points. Everyone else in the block with 2. In the C block, we have Zack Sabre Jr. in the lead with 4 points. Kenta and Naito have not scored yet. Everyone else in the block has 2. And in the D block, there's no lead. Yoshihashi is the only one who has not scored yet. Everyone else is at 2 points. But that's going to be it. This is a bit longer review than my last ones. But I will see you next time when I review Day 7 of the tournament. Come get slammed.